Here we are again, back in the saw shop. If you look behind us here, we got the Chainsaw Dyno. It is now up and running. I did 2 pulls on it earlier this morning, and we had a consistent 2.88 horsepower on the first pull, and I think 2.84 horsepower on the second pull. That's what I was worried about, was consistency, and boom, it was spot on. So what we're gonna do is pull the exhaust off this 843 Neotec and see if we can't bump the horsepower up with just a simple exhaust mod. And then you guys can kind of see the dyno working and see how it goes. I'm extremely excited just to start utilizing it to do all different kinds of stuff for my own learning abilities, and come along for the ride and learn yourselves, guys. And I want to do this to help others. That's what this channel is about. You know, we're going to play around with videos of like what we can do to manipulate the timing numbers with just base gasket deletes, or doubling a base gasket up, and just seeing what it does on the dyno. And then you may be able to take stuff and run with it at home, guys, without even touching a grinder. Without further ado, guys, I'm extremely excited. Let's tear this exhaust off. Let's see if we can't do an exhaust mod that's either going to take it one way or the other. Let's go, guys. All right, let's see if we can't get this exhaust off here. Yeah, so guys, the simple dyno software, it's got its quirks. Like sometimes when you shut the program down or it locks up for COM port issues, I found it easier just to reset my computer. But for free, it's a rather pretty awesome software. Like I say, it's got its quirks, but for free, guys, I think it's pretty awesome. All right, guys, so here's the exhaust. The Neotec does come without the screen, so we're going to get this off. What I did to this ported genuine Husqvarna 543 here was just pulled the screen out, and then I flared this up just to make the outlet just a little bit bigger. So we'll go ahead and pop this apart and see what it looks like inside. And guys, we're going to work on getting this 543 on a dyno before we get it back to Dave. And we're going to see what she puts down. I'm a little nervous. I'm sure she'll be up over 3, I hope. But I'm pretty sure she is, because she's running pretty nasty in comparison to the stock one back here. And it did open it up with opening up the strato port. So guys, if you get those saws, you're going to have to tear them apart to get them running up the snuff. So keep that in mind if you do purchase one of these saws. So this looks like we might have to get in there and somehow pop this off. I'm gonna get a closer look, guys. But as you can see, we can possibly even open some of these holes up in here. Guys, I'm gonna try my best to maybe tweak this up. It's my saw. Yeah, and that's green. So that's all spot welded in there, I believe. It's my saw, so I don't mind. I have an idea. We're gonna try and tweak this way out of the way. Open this up, and I'm gonna try bending it straight up in the air and kind of take the lazy way, guys, and see if I can't get my bit in there. And I know this is gonna split here, and it did already. That's fine. I'm fine with that. We'll come back and probably do this a different way with maybe welding. So I just want to kind of get into these 3 holes here. Probably can't see that too good. I don't think you guys can, but there you go. So I'm going to get in there and maybe open some of these up, and then we'll flare this back down, and then maybe we'll just put it on the dyno and see if it changes anything, guys. So I'm going to try and sneak this a little bit through here and see if we can't attack this first one here and open it up a little bit. Okay, that is all opened up. Awesome, guys. So I thought some exhausts you can see sometimes are like have these baffle plates that go across, and the actual like expansion hole for the saw is so small. There's a lot to be gained in an exhaust, I think, on chainsaws, is what I'm coming to find out. And it doesn't take much to think about it, guys. look how small some of those are when you look in there on some of the other like residential saws and stuff. They're just so choked down. All right, guys, so it's pretty badass, I think. I thought that it was really going to be choked up. I think opening this up here, we're going to see an increase. We're not going to, this is just to kind of see the results we get on the dyno, and kind of like creating a prototype. And the exhaust mod for this is basically what I'm trying. So, and be careful with these bits, guys. So we already opened that and up a little bit. It's going to really catch on some of this other metal. This is where you probably want to do it in a vise, but I've done this so many times before. I'm confident in myself. All right, we got those two opened up. 100% take it to an air compressor and blow every last little piece in there, because that stuff just cycles around in there, guys. You do not want any of that metal in there, or you're going to trash your piston. We're going to make this center one, since we can access it, a little bigger. We might even actually open this all the way up if we can, but it's really going to start to catch here. So this one is almost out of the question. We'll see. Yeah, there we go. So we're starting to open that up there. So if I can get the whole thing opened up, and then we'll flare this back down a little bit. One, so we don't melt the plastic on the top case, and just put it on the dyno and see what kind of change we get, guys. Okay. So I got what I wanted to do with that. That's all opened up. Now I'm going to get back on the grinder on the bench here and clean this up a little bit. And then I'm going to take it out on the other shop, blow it out real good, and we'll pop it back on the saw. This is grabby. I should put a finer bit on here. Let's see what we can do with this. It's going to be a little shattered. Not too bad. We'll see how good we can bend all that back, because that looks a little mangled right now, huh? We'll definitely have to go out and blow it out. Now that I think about it, guys, I would almost bend that down, and this is spot weld it shut, and do a little custom out the side pipe. Should try something like that, but we're just going to see what some simple modification like this may do on a dyno. Could be done this way too, probably. What I did with his, I just flared his out a little bit there. Didn't look too bad. Opened it up, but if we really want, oh, there we go. If we really wanted to open it up, them 3 top holes, we would make a little bit larger, or take them all the way out like this one. All right, guys, so I took it over there, knocked that down a little bit, chamfered it up on the burr a little bit over there, just so it's not like nasty sharp or something like that. But who knows, we might keep it like this if it goes up a horsepower, huh? But yeah, let's get her bolted up, guys. And, really can't see what I'm doing. Get every little last piece of the metal particles out of there. And if you got carbon on it, you might want to spray some I can't talk. You might want to spray some carb or brake cleaner on the inside there, and then blow it out, guys. Because you don't want your engine eating steel. At least I don't. Yeah, I'm going to get a cover for the drive wheel itself there, guys. That's coming, especially before I get these big saws. Before this 372 goes on there, I'm gonna have that. I should have it on now, actually, but we're extremely excited, guys. So that's like, let's do some experiments right off the back. All right, guys, we're gonna get everything set up. I think we're pretty much squared away. I do not have my laptop powered up or anything, so we'll get that set up and ready to rock and roll, guys. and I'm gonna show you the whole process of me firing this thing up and running this saw. All right, guys, while this computer warms up here, I just thought I'd show everybody. So I started out, when I first designed it, I had the 7-tooth 7x3/8 on there. And what we have up there is just a 17.5 Briggs flywheel, and cut off the piece of a crankshaft that was bad. So, and welded that onto the dowel. The 1-inch dowel fit in there perfect, so I didn't really have to machine anything. Everything just kind of went together using this Briggs 17.5 flywheel. And pretty much had to change it to the 10-tooth sprocket. I know I was probably going to be looking for one of those sawmill sprockets, which would have been, I think, around a 14-tooth or something like that. I can't remember for sure off the top of my head, but I was scratching my head a little bit, and I thought, well, let's try this 10 first, because I wanted to be a broad power curve. I wanted to not get up on the pipe too quick, so you could see more of the information being across the board in my mind, guys. So yeah, so it's been coming together. So basically, you know, as I get done my pull, I break it and slow it down, because this thing does get moving, guys. So it's a little sketch not having any kind of protection here, but hey, I'm willing to take the chance because I'm just that excited. All right, guys, here's the software setup. Simple Dyno. You can download it for free, guys. Pretty happy with it. It's a little quirky. I've had problems where sometimes it just shuts off when it doesn't want to talk to the COM port in the Arduino, to where I just restart the computer and then bam, it works right again. And this computer restarts really fast, so that's only an issue for some odd reason if the COM port doesn't want to talk to my micro controller down there. So that's basically controlling the Hall sensor with one sensor or one magnet and one revolution. You set all that up in the software, all your specs for your inertia dyno, from how big the main rod is and everything. You put all those specs on there, your wheel, weight, diameter, all the stuff. And I was surprised that I put that in as accurate as I possibly could, how close the numbers were without me having to make any kind of major adjustments there. So that was really cool. Let's hope it stays that way, guys. But we're going to prep up here and try and do our first run. I just wanted to show you guys what the software platform looked like. All right, guys, so I know for a fact that the saw is definitely not up to temp. It's been an hour or so since I ran the saw. Everything seems like it's working properly as far as the equipment working. The microcontroller is talking to the computer. So we are going to get ready and run this thing. All right, guys, one thing I like to do is just roll it a few times before I even do a power run on it, just to make sure you're evaluating everything before you run it. All right, let's gear her up, guys. Guys, we started running into all these problems. Had the bar on backwards. I didn't have it bolted down tight enough. We just made 3.6 horsepower, guys, or 3.36 horsepower with an exhaust mod. Again, 3.36 horsepower. So that was a gain. This thing has been very, very accurate as long as everything is operating as it should. Inertial dynos are supposed to be accurate, guys. Do I still have some quirks to work out? Absolutely. I need to make a safety cover on there. That makes me paranoid. I kind of like doing the pulls with this smaller saw for now. That way I can keep an eye on all of this and see. I might have to make some tweaks and upgrades. And I wanted to kind of watch the wheel just to see what's going on before I get a safety cover built onto it. But guys, we're getting there. We'll do another pull for you guys. And see if the consistency stays there. But we just hit 3.36 horsepower, which is definitely an increase from stock. So awesome. That's what we're looking for. All right, guys, we're going to see if we can get any kind of consistency here. 3.36 horsepower. We gained just about a half a horsepower from a muffler mod, guys. That's pretty neat. So Dave may even want to consider this muffler mod for his. I'll have to tell him about it. Do a little R&D here, huh? We'll see if we get a consistent reading, guys. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not going to sugarcoat, okay? All right. Just like that. I did have the chain hop. It was still going smooth. So I could have wound it out a little more, but it should be a rather accurate reading. 2.96, so it's still a gain, guys. We got 2.96 horsepower there, and I felt like I could have got a little bit more rev out of that, but that's staying rather consistent. So we are seeing a gain. We did hit half a horsepower. I'll bring you over here and show you guys. Very exciting that this is coming together, guys. Very exciting. So right there we hit 2.96 horsepower. What do you say, guys? Do you want one more pull? Let's see if we can get above 3 one more time. And again, I don't think the saw shifted is bad, but we'll have to take a I'll have to take a gander here, but that's awesome. We hit a 1.59 foot-pounds. Now 8.16 second run at 2.96 horsepower. I think I could have peaked it over 3, and that's staying pretty consistent for me. I definitely could have peaked it over 3, but I saw the chain hop, and I don't want no catastrophic failures here, so I let off on that pull. Guys, see what we hit there. So I see little sparks. That's why I jumped from my brake rotor. I guess the torque does make the rotor hit. So we're gonna inspect everything. So it does show that it does flex a little bit under a load, to be expected on a 1/2-inch axle. We're gonna go to analyst. A little bit better looking curve there. Let's go into analyst here. And sadly, we only put 2.12 horsepower there, which was not near as good for some odd reason, guys. RPM sensor not working again. All right, guys, the bad news. This was starting to pull really good and function properly. The Hall sensor, RPM sensor, came loose, broke the whole tip of it off. So we're gonna have to throw another Hall sensor on here. One of the nuts where I had this mounted up to this bracket here came loose that I had tacked on there to thread this down. So we're gonna get all that fixed up. So the times it ran and I didn't catch anything going on with the dyno itself, it was staying very, very accurate, guys. I'm going to work the quirks out. We're going to make another video of the muffler mod, but I do think that it did help when we had that 3 horsepower. We had a 1/2 horsepower difference, and nothing went wrong with that pull on the dyno. And like I say, guys, earlier today, I did the back-to-back pulls with 2.8 horsepower. So that was very, very consistent. It's just a matter of working the bugs out with the functionality of the dyno. I destroyed that sensor, so we'll have to get another one on there. Guys, so I hope you enjoyed the content with me doing the first few pulls on the Chainsaw Inertia Dyno. It was a blast today. Like I say, I did the first 2 pulls on the saw with everything finally functioning right, and it nailed 2 runs at 2.8 horsepower. That's why I know, because this saw stock is 2.95 horsepower, that it has to be pretty accurate and it stay consistent. I do have some bugs to work out. We destroyed that Hall sensor / RPM sensor. I'm gonna have to get a new one thrown on it. So we got some bells and whistles to kind of tweak with and kind of work out a little bit, guys. Also the brake bolt, to where it's just a mountain bike brake caliber I mounted there, and the one nut that I have to bolt that up, the tacks broke loose under a load. So I hope you enjoyed the content of the Chainsaw Dyno, guys. Look for more material coming out on this thing. We're gonna work the bells and whistles out of it for sure. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you haven't already, guys, smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications, give us a like, drop a comment in the comments, let us know what you think. We'll catch you next time, guys.